literally hitting record with my sword. I'm like, good evening. Really hoping I'm in focus because these contacts are a little blurry, and like I just said, I'm focusing my camera with my sword. Also, you know, not to brag, but I may or may not have unlocked the Master Sword already. Lex, people have been unlocking the Master Sword like since it came out. I know, okay, so maybe I'm a little bit behind. Oh, by the way, I also found the Lord of the Mountain Horse. For I am Master Link, the champion. Anyways, speaking of champion, I knew I wanted to do a Link body paint like since the game came out, but I couldn't decide if I wanted to do his original tunic or if I wanted to lean more towards his champion tunic, which you get in the game. So when you can't decide on something, what else do? You put it on a poll on Twitter. It was then suggested to me by a subscriber whose name I lost. Why not both? Cute little girl whose family's proud of her for making a double taco decision. And here we are. All the products used to be listed somewhere around the video. Also want to give a shout out to Abracadabra for rushing me these ears, as well as Rockstar Wigs for rushing me this wig. If this was a real sword, I would have just stabbed myself. I will put links for both of those amazing companies in the description below. Also, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have any, you know, fellow Zelda lovers, please feel free to share it with them as well. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'm starting off by mapping out the champion side first. And if you were watching my live stream from this earlier, you know this is the new cream color from Graftobian, and I'm in love. I then went in with white body paint and created the pattern that is on the champion tunic. If you do the white after you already laid down the blue, then they're gonna mix together and you're not gonna be happy. I'm then carefully going around these white patterns using blue body paint. Now this is a matte chroma cake, which is a professional only body paint, and honestly it stains anyways, so you're better off using a different brand and a different blue. I also wanted to lay down that cream color undershirt underneath the blue before I actually added the rest of the blue, and also noticed that there was an extra white stripe on the sleeve right before I went to go paint the blue. When you feel you are fully prepared and have not forgotten any details, go ahead and add your blue. Using orange and green body paint, add your stripes to your undershirt. To create a slight shadow between the top and the undershirt, I'm using a light brown body paint and then just blending that out. To create some additional shading, I'm also using a navy blue body paint and just the areas of the blue. And of course adding that extremely satisfying highlight on my shoulder. Now apparently in the game you can unlock Link's old green original tunic. I haven't done it yet, but let me tell you, the day I do, I will be sure to tell you. Greens can also be a tough body paint color to work with, so just be aware of that. I also decided to alter his original tunic just a smidge as far as like how thick the undershirt was, because I wanted it to match more so on the side of the champion, and I'm actually referencing the Twilight tunic. But this new mint green though from Graftobian was perfect, and I used that to outline around the tunic. I then added some stitching on the tunic. Using a mix of green and black, I added some shading between the undershirt and the tunic. And I also added some detailing using this green as well. Taking a very little bit of black body paints, I also added some details and some shading in between the tunic and the undershirt, as well as separating the sleeve. Mixing together green and black, I also added some shading on the shoulders and on the arm. Highlights! Creating the little brackets as well as the strings that would connect the collar was a little tricky considering there was no other half of the collar. I just used some gray body paint to create those little brackets and then went in with gray eyeshadow to create the illusion that there is a white string on the white collar. Because the collar itself needed a little bit of shading, also I mixed together white and gray body paint to create a very light gray. And although most of this is off camera, unfortunately, I added a white sleeve underneath the tunic as well as an olive green undershirt underneath the tunic. Of course, to bring the two outfits together, I added some white stitching, some black dots to make it look like it's going into the clothing, some gray shading, as well as some black shading underneath the stitching. And because my collar here is like defying gravity considering there is no other side, I added some gray shading underneath to make it look like it's popping off my skin a little bit more. For my makeup, since I didn't want to go with more of a cartoony, I wanted a little more realistic, I just filled in my brows a little thicker than normal. little bit of Lexorcist, and some mascara, blue contacts, and my wig. My ears are also foam ears from Abracadabra, and I just attached them using some Prozade.